I'm your host, Jonathan Burton, and today is Wednesday, so you know it's all about the wrestling Wednesdays. So, to start this off, we're going to go actually to NXT first, because NXT had some interesting stuff going on. Then we will go to Raw results, and then maybe talk a little about the Elimination Chamber matches, but we'll get into that. So, start of NXT. Let's just talk about it. The man, Ricky Saints, not Ricky Starks. Um, Kind of funny segment. Ethan Page coming out was kind of cool because the AEW guys that jumped over went to NXT. Some of the major guys that went over. Really cool to see the two in a promo together. Loved how Javon came and beat Ethan up because he's like, oh, I'm pretty sure he couldn't walk the ring. You hear everyone cheering, he just comes in, and then you have. And this won't be in full particular order, just how I'm thinking of it. Then the what happened during it will be, but then he gets taken out by Javon, and then Wesley comes out, and Wesley's like, "Oh, listen, you're new here. I'm one of the top dogs. I've been here from the beginning." Which, if you think about it, he really hasn't. But he said, "I'm gonna be the first one to welcome him to NXT. It's gonna be the one time." He says, "Okay, they're gonna try to make it happen." Then he goes to set the sign at Wesley, tries to go for a punch, just pops him over the top rope, signs the contract, and everyone's like, "Oh," like pretend I didn't say his name. They're like, "Oh, what's his name?" Wanted to show his name, Ricky Saints. Which Ricky Saints, I'm not mad at it. It's not a horrible change name. There's been worse ones before. I mean, everyone was mad when Walter was changed to Gunther. So I think Ricky Saints isn't bad, especially because he's from New Orleans, and he said he liked the name himself. So, and I don't know if they can actually use Starks because of legal issues, with the other company AEW. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there. But I think the name's okay. I think there's been worse name changes, and I think we should just be really happy it's not one of those few names from that bucket list of names they had drawn up from that trademark little trademarking they had. But next thing we'll go to after a little while, you know, Ricky is walking with Ava, and Ethan Page comes, and then he's talking to trash, and then Wesley comes, he's talking to trash, and then they start arguing, and then Javon comes over, they start arguing, and at the end of it, they were pretty chill at the end, and they were like, all right, we want this match. So match next week, Ricky Saints and Javon Evans versus All Ego, Ethan Page, and Wes Lee, which I believe is also an NXT thing this weekend where Javon will go against Ethan Page, if I'm correct, this Saturday. Something like that. I think it's an NXT Live. But whatever it is, it should be a great match. Then other big things, you will have the Hardy Boys go to NXT for a match next week as tag team champs. They were called out, and then they kind of called out for Team a little bit to be like, "Hey, this is how the real tag teams do it." But they were called out. They're gonna be on NXT next week, which hopefully I can watch because sometimes I'm not able to watch it because TV issues. But I want to see the Hardys in work. They're older, so they're not gonna be exact. They're not gonna be the Hardy Boys from old WWE. As that's not gonna be them, but hopefully they can still put on a good show, especially for the NXT crowd because NXT has been popping. Jordan Gracie down in NXT now. Jordan Grace in NXT now. That's insane. Those three versus the was it Fallon Grace and the other two, which would be I don't remember their names, but that 3-on-3 match would be good. Then big one, Obafemi. He wants those attackers from the NXT pay-per-view to come out and they're like, hey, listen, let's go. What are you waiting for? Come on. And you finish what you started. Whole room goes black. Right. And then it's just some music. You're like, oh, it's kind of clean. It's kind of mysterious. Then you see a man, the light flashes on him, and you get closer, and it is Moose, the TNA champion. I don't think he's. I don't know if he's. I think is he world champ, something like that. I know Joe Hendry. He's something. I don't fully remember the TNA belts. I gotta refresh my mind on it. But him versus Oba Femi would be awesome. One small thing about that is Sandy Zap was getting hate for being excited about it. Don't know why we're hating him for that. He's just as excited for a match. I don't know why being excited for a match is something to be hated for, but it is what it is. People live and learn, and Sandy's awesome. So go subscribe to Sandy's app. But other than that, NXT excited for next week. Gonna have some good matches. Not too mad about Ricky Starks getting changed to Ricky Saints. And yeah, Hardy Boys. I mean, come on, who don't like the Hardy Boys? They did the old, 1-2 for the CW/Netflix crowd for NXT. Off of that, going to Raw. Some pretty there were some good matches. There's some okay matches. Just the ones that were in Monday. Elimination Chamber qualifying match: Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. This match cooked. It was a really good match. Of course, like always, my boy Seth Rollins comes out with the W. Because that's just him in the Elimination Chamber. It gets that much better. This one I really liked. Elimination Chamber qualifying match: Roxanne Perez versus Raquel Rodriguez. Um, Love that Roxanne won. I love Roxanne's Perez so much. If you saw my WWE award show I did with my friend Caleb, I posted on the channel. I said she was my top 3 in picks for the woman wrestler of the year. Liv Morgan won it, but Roxanne Perez was right up there. So just so happy she won. It's a big moment for her, especially going up to the main roster if they fully pull the trigger on that, but they haven't yet. Next one, Penta versus Pete Dunne. I mean, it's Penta and Pete Dunne. What's not to like about that match? That match was amazing. They're always cooking. Ludwig, his little annoying self got in there, but overall, really, really good match. I watched there's a clip with Penta and Sheamus because he does the Celtic Warrior workouts or whatever it is. And apparently Penta like tore his bicep 3 years ago, and he just didn't get it fixed. And he's just been working out and wrestling with the torn bicep. Crazy man. He's a juggernaut. That's all I can say. What the heck? Um, Another match: AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio. It's AJ Styles. What more can you say? Great to see him back in the ring. Glad he didn't get hurt this time because it would have sucked if he got hurt. Because I really like AJ Styles, and I think him versus Braun Breaker at WrestleMania will be pretty dang good if that's what they go, which I think they're going that way, and it's perfect. It's gonna be great. Bianca Belair and Naomi did interfere with the Roxanne Perez match, which led to the win, which was a kind of cool pop rocks. Roxanne, so Liv got attacked by Naomi and Bianca, so Rodriguez went over to the ropes, and she's kind of like, I don't know, like bending over to look down or something, or she was tired. I forgot what happened. And Roxanne did a double jump off the ropes and then did a pop rocks, which Raquel like no sold it, which I don't know why she did that, but it's whatever. And then Sami Zayn appearance. It's just Sami Zayn talking trash, saying, "Hey, let's get this match." And Adam Pearce's like, "No, come on, we have to unsanction it," and I don't want to do that. And he's like, "Unsanction it." So what he's basically saying, like, "Do it, you won't." And now we have an unsanctioned match between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, which saves them from having the WrestleMania match, which I know a lot of people were conflicted. A lot of people wanted it at WrestleMania. A lot of people wanted Elimination Chamber. So mixed bag, but we finally got it figured out. It will be at Elimination Chamber, and I think that'll be great. Ivy Nile versus Dakota Kai wasn't a bad match. Um, Either one I'd be okay with winning. I like both, but Dakota Kai I think is a good pick. I don't think she'll beat Lyra just because if they wanted her to have it this soon, they probably would have just gave it to her in the first place and had Lyra lose. But Lyra needs this. She needs to get a title defense under her belt because I don't think she's had one yet. So get that ball rolling in the court so it actually gets going and it's not just stalling and it's not a title that just sits there. So hopefully they can get that one going, but you never fully know. So this Raw, overall, pretty good Raw. It does lead us into the Elimination Chamber participants. On one hand, you got Seth Rollins in the men's. You have Seth Rollins, of course, amazing. John Cena, last one ever. CM Punk, it's CM Punk. You have Drew McIntyre. You have Damian Priest and Logan Paul. Loki, it's a star stack lineup. I know a lot of people weren't really fully happy with Logan Paul being in there, but at the end of it, like really, are you gonna be that mad about it? It's still gonna be a star-studded cast, like, and then there's so many runes because you have possibilities because you have some. It's mostly big man, so you probably won't see as many dives, but Logan Paul can kind of be that semi-high flyer because he likes to jump off things, so you can see that happening or a moonsault. You have Seth in there. He's gonna do some crazy stuff. I think one of the two main things in this match are gonna be Punk and Cena, and then Seth, Drew, and Punk, because these two they don't hate each other, but they like to have that competition. CM Punk and John, and then Drew, Seth, Drew, and CM Punk, all three hate each other. So those are gonna be the two big points, and Logan Paul's just gonna be there to have some fun, keep the match flowing, keep the competitive juices going, and honestly, just early prediction. I'll make a prediction video for it later, but I do think CM Punk will take this and take it to Raw. I mean, take it to WrestleMania to go against Cody Rhodes. The reason I say that is because John Cena, I think they should wait a bit before giving him a title just because ah, I feel like it's a little too cliche if they give it to him now. I don't know why, but I'd rather have him wait for another time in the year so it's that much bigger for the whole, for the whole roster because it's really important that you don't make it too fast because then you don't want people getting bored of him. So if you let it wait, it'll be way better. But yes, I will go CM Punk for that one. And then the women's elimination chamber match. This one's pretty good too. Liv Morgan, okay. Alexa Bliss, love Alexa Bliss. Bianca Belair, great. Bailey, eh. Naomi, okay, and Roxanne Perez. Now that's gonna have some good people in it. I kind of miss that Tiffy wasn't in it, but that's because she's champ. So this is to see who goes against Rhea Ripley, which Rhea Ripley will then be having a match with Io the next week on Raw after because she got eliminated. I don't know why they just didn't give her a match at the last chance to get into it because they usually do that for people. So I don't know why they just didn't do that because that's usually what happens and it would have been much better than just di- digressing Io's run to just a Raw where she got a promo for it. She literally got a vignette, and they just are gonna make her lose, which is insane to me because Charlotte is going against Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania, and we all know that Tiffany should retain. This should be a big passing of the torch moment because they like to call her the princess. So Queen the Princess, whatever you want to call it, Ludwig, don't attack me. Um, but yeah, Charlotte should not win this. Love Charlotte; she's a great wrestler, but I think it's starting to become a new era of women's wrestling. Some of the new faces are starting to come in and take control of it. They're trying to grasp it from them. So that match should be great though. Then on the other side, I mean, who would I have winning out of that? I don't see Liv winning because then hope to God they don't go back to Liv versus Rhea. Um, Naomi, no, I don't see anything there between her and Rhea. Roxanne, love for Roxanne to win. Don't think it's gonna happen. I think this is gonna be a big moment for her, but like Tiffy, it's not gonna be one where she wins it. Yeah, Liv Morgan, no. Alexa Bliss, I'd be okay with. Bianca Belair, we'll talk about her in a minute. Bailey, no. So Liv, no. Alexa, maybe. Bailey, no. Naomi, no. Roxanne Perez, I wish. But honestly, I do think they're going to go Bianca here. I think they're really pushing for Bianca versus Rhea. And the reason I think this is I do think Bianca will win and take the title at WrestleMania because then it'll set up a storyline for SummerSlam between Bianca versus Jade. Because then Jade's going to come back eventually and be like, hey, listen, I know you attack me. Like, why? What's up with that? Naomi's gonna be like, whoa, but Naomi will probably turn with Bianca, so she can be at the height of the company, because Bianca's champ, and then that'll be Jade's kind of really getting over story. Hopefully, if people like her enough to overwhelm the likeness of Bianca, because I don't know if they'll ever turn. It would be hard to turn Bianca heel, but if anyone's the person who did it, I mean, a lot of people are suggesting that Naomi probably attacked them because you had the CCTV footage of Liv and Raquel walking around after the attack. So that's what they thought it was, the people who attacked Jade. But I don't see that. I really just don't. I think a lot of people are thinking Naomi, but it would be really cool if it was Bianca because then that could really easily set up that one-on-one feud between Bianca and Jade to really get Jade started hot when she comes back from her injury, whatever it is, or her beatdown of some sorts. But I think it would be an amazing storyline to come out of WrestleMania because that starts off a big one. Because really, if you think about it, the first night after WrestleMania, it's it's supposed to be a big one. It's supposed to be returns, debuts, big storylines, really good matches. So a really good storyline to just come straight out of um, WrestleMania would definitely be Bianca versus Jade Cargo, but I think that's one where you could wait for SummerSlam because it's a gap between those two, and I don't think you want to do it at like you don't want to do it at Backlash. You want to have it at one of those more premium events and SummerSlam, biggest party of the summer. Come on, man, that would be perfect. So hopefully we can get that there because that would be really cool. But we'll see because Bianca has to win it for all I know. I'm thinking way too ahead of the future, but I think that'd be a cool storyline for him. Other than that, I mean, more about Raw. Just been really good product recently. I think Raw has been a really high status of late. I think they haven't been missing. They really haven't. I think it was the one time Netflix was looking like it was gonna crash, but I think that was just one rough night. I don't know what happened there, but they fixed the service the next week. I don't know if someone was like chewing on the cords, making the TVs go out, but something was going on, and they fixed it obviously. But yeah, honestly, I think Elimination Chamber has a lot of promise. The matches I think are gonna be good. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens should be good because they always put on bangers when they're against each other. You'll probably see some tables. I mean, it's an unsanctioned match, so anything can happen. You could have a chair on a neck and someone stomps on the chair, old style. So there's a lot of potential. Other matches on that card, I don't know if I can think of any really yet. I don't really see any forming, but yeah, I don't know. So I think I'm pretty locked in on the championship matches, though. Whoa, okay, I forgot the Summer Raw. This was absolutely hilarious. Gunther doing the Jey Uso entrance, where he's in the crowd, and then he walks out and does the he does the yeets. I found that hilarious. And then his tweet after was like he had to give props to Jey Uso for always doing his entrance because all the stinky people in the crowd. I'm like, yo, bro, calm down. What was that for? That was uncalled for. But no, Gunther is hilarious. He's back on his disrespectful timing. I think it's hilarious, but like, come on, man, you don't gotta attack us. What do we do? What do we do to you? Um, 50 Cent line right there. Insert it. Just joking. Can't do that. But overall, I think it's been great product recently at Raw and WWE's all SmackDown's been pretty good too. You have the stuff going on. Shinsuke, hopefully he gets some more matches soon. I think SmackDown it's so heavily focused on the bloodline sometimes that it kind of like the Tiffy stuff with Charlotte. That was pretty good. I can't complain about that. There's been some good matches. I just feel like Raw right now has just been so perfect almost, especially with the times where they don't go overboard. They don't go over the time they need. They do it just right, and I think that's just perfect. But yeah, I think the product's been great. And then quick note to AEW, their recent pay per view, it was the one in Australia. I heard that the ring was indie ring and it looked in pretty bad shape. And if you watch Buddy Matthews, aka Buddy Murphy, when he was in WWE, hurt his ankle. So I don't know if that's the best look. I mean, it was from what I saw from some of the highlights, good match between Tony Storm and Mariah May. I heard that was a great match. I think the title's just been swapping between the two, so maybe you want to get another star kind of up there, so you have more than just two women's talents. Because NXT over there, they do it right. They got so many stars. I just I can't get over NXT how good it's been. I know I keep just going off topic, but I just gotta talk about NXT. AW, please do better. Don't I don't want to see any wrestler get hurt in any company. I just want wrestling to be good as a whole. So please use normal rings next time, please. But yeah, going back to NXT, just talking about their stacked women's roster again, especially that Solruka, Zariah match. Those two, absolutely so much fun to watch. If you saw the ending, Zariah hit her finisher, I think, or her sig, and she tagged in Silveruka. Soruka has one of the best like cutters. I don't know what you call it. She does the double. She does one jump off bottom to middle, and then she does like a backflip into. I don't even know how to explain it, but it is a amazing finishing move. And honestly, Soruka, I like her a lot. I think she could be a really good talent. So I would hope maybe soon sometimes he can get a title run. I know it's kind of hard because the champs right now are Julia and Stephanie Vecchier, so it's going to be really hard to get a title off any of them soon. But hopefully, sometime Silveruka can get a title belt because she is an amazing wrestler, and I love what she has been doing in NXT and just the finishing move. That's you can talk about that for at least 5 minutes almost. Like it's so cool. It's been used in so many cool ways, and it's just not saying she deserves a title just because of finishing move, but that finishing move is pretty dang sweet. But overall, today we talked about NXT a lot because NXT's been cooking. You know, you have Jordan Grace, the new people there, the Hardy Boys match. You have Saints there now. We're gonna have Raw Elimination Chamber matches between Finn, Seth, some of the segments going on. Gunther being an absolute troll. Talk about Elimination Chamber a little bit. Some of the matches that could be there. Some of the matches I want to see. Well, the winners and then the matches from that I want to see at WrestleMania. AEW a small bit, just saying like, come on, what's with the ring? You got a good match between Mariah May and Toni Storm, but like, come on, fix the ring issues, guys. Let's be smart about this. You don't want your talent getting hurt, and the NXT Women's roster because enough said about them. But thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode and peace. Subscribe.